Good morning and welcome to the Saturday special edition of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. We had a momentous decision of the government that affects each and every Canadian, especially the coming generations, and that was legalization of marijuana. Oh, Canada, what have you done? You see, in the West, if we see, the cultural revolution has reached a very advanced stage. And the revolutions are winning. The battles over dishonesty, divorce, promiscuity, abortion, same-sex marriage are over and all have been won. The fighters are now advancing towards racist microaggression, transgender rights, Islamic autonomy, and other extreme ideas, including easier access to mind-altering drugs. Now, what is happening is that the Western nations have adopted a very different method. They approach these battles, these issues at a local level, but not Canada. Canada has always been the first nation to tackle these issues at a national level. In 2005, Canada was the fourth country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage. Till that, only 3 countries had legalized it: Netherlands, Belgium, and Spain. Now, Canada became the 4th country to celebrate same-sex marriages. It was the 10th nation in the world to allow its citizens to use an X option for their gender in their passports, neither male nor female. And it's also one of the first few nations treating transgenders individuals as they are and not to be treated differently. And if you treat transgender people differently, you are a criminal. Now Canada's government is tackling to lead another major social change at a national level. It has done so. It has legalized recreational marijuana nationwide. First nation in the Western world, civilized world, and the second nation in the world, it has done so. So first nation in Western Canada, in Western horizon part of the world, who they call themselves to be the great advanced nation. And the second in the world, first is Uruguay, and second is Canada, and they have legalized marijuana use. Basically, there has been strong push. In 2015, Justin Trudeau promised to legalize marijuana. And this is one promise he has kept. Let's give credit to that man. At least he has kept one promise. And the law became, the Bill C-45 became law on October 17. Obviously, marijuana's use increasing. We can't deny. The latest statistics show that the use of marijuana has increased from 85 to 25. The cannabis use has increased to 12.3%. In 1985, it was 5.6%. In 2015, when Trudeau came in power, it was 12.3%. And now, we have found 14% of the Canadians of age 15 and elder have used marijuana. That comes to 4.2 million Canadians use marijuana. Can there be anything shocking? And most of these, at least more than 50% of these users, use it every day. So that was a demand of the people, the users, the people who get on high, to legalizing. The popular defense of the bill is that it will protect our children. No, then there are certain parameters for the use of it, for possessing and consuming marijuana. It can be purchased at a local dispensary by anyone above the age of 18. You can also grow it at home, but then you can have only 4 plants in your household. You can grow up to 4 plants in your home. Now, how big the plant should be, that is up to you. A person cannot possess more than 30 grams, and an adult is allowed to share up to 30 grams with another adult. So both of them can have 60 grams of marijuana at one time. However, individuals under the age of 18 will not be arrested, will not be prosecuted if they are caught with marijuana or just smoking marijuana, because the government calls it very small amount of marijuana. What about protecting children? Under the new law, it's still a criminal offense to sell marijuana to a minor or use a minor to commit a cannabis-related offense. So, they have tried to protect the youth. There are harsh penalties, but they sound good. All these penalties that people will be punished, they'll be fined millions of dollars if they are caught. But there's a big loophole, and when I talked to my jurist friend, they said nobody will be punished. Now, while the new law deters adults from supplying minors with marijuana, it does not deter children from getting it themselves. Under the law, individuals under the age of 18 will not be criminally responsible if they are caught possessing or sharing marijuana. And then the thing is, small amount. Now, how much is a small amount? 1 gram, 2 grams, 10 grams? How much? 5 grams of marijuana is equivalent to 20 joints that can be smoked. So if it's 1 gram, it's 5 joints that the child can smoke. And it's not a crime. So this is a considerable leeway, and the law fails to protect the children. You see that there's no reasoning, no sound reasoning. The minors will break the law, but the politicians don't want to suffer the consequences. The reality now, let's be very clear, is not about protecting minors from marijuana. It is protecting them from legal consequences of using it. So they can smoke, use, chew marijuana to the limit they want, but they are not liable to be treated in a harsh manner. There'll be no legal consequences if you use it. Now, imagine if a law allows a young person to possess enough marijuana to take a small number of joints and also share it with the teenagers. Does it really offer a deterrent? This provision alone is significant, and nationwide legalization with this loophole sends a message clearly that marijuana is acceptable. You have a right, another right added to your Bill of Rights, the right to be on the high, the right to be stoned. Could any government, could any sensible government have done so? And yet they have done so. And I hope they are sensible. There's a problem with the law. Let's not forget it. The Canadian government says that they'll devote manpower and resources to enforce marijuana laws. They have been weakening. So if the children are there, but they'll not be punished. So what sort of enforcement is there if there's no deterrence? And the government has already taken a decision, which they have mentioned day before, that all those people who were arrested or who had their charges on the record that they were convicted under marijuana laws, those charges shall be erased from the records. You have a driving offense and the record, it remains on your record for the life till you are pardoned. But marijuana you have smoked and the charges would be written off. What a fine thing. After all, the Prime Minister had a personal experience of marijuana and he knows that the charges should not stand. Now, is this going to affect and increase the appetite for drugs? Yes. We cannot deny that the drug use all over the world is increasing, especially in Canada and in the Western world. The heroin-related crimes reached the highest level this decade. The number of the people charged with heroin trafficking in 2017 was 300% more if we compare it to 27. So in 10 years, it has increased by 300%. In addition, Canada is dealing with its own opioid crisis. Canada has seen 34% increase in opioid fatalities compared to 2016. So in 1 year, 34% increase in the deaths because of the opioids. And nobody can deny that when the people have those options and they want to be stoned, they'll adopt them. The battle for marijuana is not only in Canada. The same movement exists in USA and in all Western world, but no other country has taken this decision at a national level. Let's not change that historically, whenever you have gone in for narcotics, you have suffered. The Britishers enslaved and weakened China with promoting opium. You are opiated, you are drugged, you are stoned, you don't resist anything. So here possibly the Liberal government wanted the people to be stoned forever, and they become like the Tennyson's poem, the lotus eaters, who just are stoned the day in and day out, and there's no worry at all in the world. This is what the government has done. Now, let's see what has been happening all over the world. The state of Colorado in USA made it legal to smoke or use marijuana. And do you know that in 2 years, there has been 12% increase in the use of crimes related to marijuana. So who is right? Is the government right? Are we right who oppose it? Not to define something right, it stands to reason that the outcome must be right and good. What effect does marijuana produce on the human body? It produces an immediate temporary feeling of well-being by chemicals over-activating receptors in the brain. And that is the reason you feel high. So according to people, you don't get depressed, you are high, your drug is good. However, they forget one major thing, and that is it impacts the brain negatively, especially the minors. You see, the human brain keeps on developing till the age of 25. And the use of marijuana till the age of 25 can permanently stunt brain development. There was a study conducted in New Zealand which showed that marijuana users who have an average of 8 joints in a month between the age of 18 and 38, they were studied, and they lost their sense of discrimination and a sense of judgment. Maybe the government wants the people to lose a sense of judgment. Maybe the government wants the people to remain high. Maybe government wants them to be in a state of perpetual euphoria, because then they will not bother about other things. And then prolonged use of marijuana can cause depression, schizophrenia, and suicide. Is that a way out of our problems? The medical study shows that any use of marijuana before the age of 25 permanently stunts brain development. So, despite these proofs, government has gone ahead. But then, what authorizes the government to decide what is good and bad? It has decided 30 grams of marijuana is good. 31 grams is bad. You can have 4 plants of marijuana in your courtyard, and then there's no limit to how much you can consume, because the plant is there, the leaves will be there all the time. So why not 5 plants if 4 can be there? So, it's not defining good or evil. You have to ensure good of the people. Society's view of the drug might have changed. We have to change the laws. But the laws that are detrimental to the mental and physical health of the people, that makes people lethargic, indifferent to the change and the values, is that ethical? The public view of morality has shifted, I understand it, in the last few generations. And everybody is entitled to his or her opinion. But then leave it to the people to dream what it is. And if you want to leave things to people, then what are the laws meant for? Laws are meant to restrain people from acting on impulses. What is right? Who is right? Is something difficult. But if the medical and the crime statistics are to be evaluated, this section of the government is one of the most undesirable actions ever taken. No government has the right to ensure the mental decapacitation of the future generations. And this is what government has done. As they say, you reap what you sow. The government has sown the seeds of crime, the seeds of depression, schizophrenia, mental diseases. And the day is not far off when we would be a nation of addicts, a nation of the people who can't think and whose only desire is to be stoned day in and day out. And then they'll thank the government for being so considerate, and the right thinking individuals say, what the hell has this government done? Why it has done so? Well, it's up to you to decide. Take a position, because you keep quiet when such actions are taken are complicit in the crime as well. Thank you.